coverage. So things are weird, even more than usual. It's been sort of a helter-skelter news cycle. Politico.com's major headline for today was, Trump aides are at their wits' end. Andrew Restuccio at Politico reports that in the middle of President Trump threatening that he was going to veto the spending bill and shut down the government, reporters were calling the White House to find out if the president really meant this, if he was serious, whether this was really going to happen. White House officials had no idea what to tell reporters because apparently they were completely blindsided by the president's behavior today. Quote, asked Friday whether Trump was serious about vetoing the bill, one White House official said simply, who knows? That's a White House official. Who knows? We also learned today that part of the surprise of the McMaster firing last night was that White House Chief of Staff John Kelly and other senior White House officials were hard at work planning an announcement that not only was H.R. McMaster going to be fired, but a whole bunch of other officials were going to be fired as well, including multiple cabinet officials. Part of the surprise last night was that they were planning on announcing all of those firings all at once when all of a sudden the president got on Twitter and fired McMaster. So I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse about stability at the uppermost levels of the American government. It was a shock to everybody that the National Security Advisor was fired, but only because a whole bunch of other people at senior levels of the administration were also supposed to be fired at the same time. And those other people haven't been fired yet, so we're apparently still waiting for those firings to happen. Do those shoes still drop? I mean, even among White House sources, there is now open speculation that the firing of McMaster last night and the announced hiring of John Bolton was timed by the president to distract from one particular interview that aired last night on CNN. An interview in which a woman named Karen McDougal discussed in detail what she says was a serious 10-month-long extramarital affair with the president, which she said was capped off during the presidential campaign by what she describes as a hush money deal that was facilitated by one of the president's friends. She says it was both a significant campaign finance violation by the Trump campaign and it was illegal fraud by the president's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, acting on the president's behalf. So that interview was last night in the 8 o'clock hour Eastern time. CNN telegraphed all day long that that interview would be airing in the 8 o'clock hour. 90 minutes before its airtime is when the president announced he was firing the National Security Advisor. That timing reportedly a surprise both to the National Security Advisor and to the guy who he announced would be getting the job next. And if the speculation, even from within the White House, is correct, that is what drove that timing, an effort to distract from that interview last night. If the speculation is true that the National Security Advisor to the President of the United States was fired to distract from Karen McDougal's interview last night, then heaven help us for whatever this president and this White House are going to do to distract us this weekend, because the Stormy Daniels interview is due to air on Sunday night on 60 Minutes. If you fire the National Security Advisor to distract from the first interview, what do you do to distract from the second one? In the You Have to Buy Me Tacos Rachel Maddow show staff betting pool on this subject, my pick is Mike Flynn pardon on early Sunday afternoon. I do really love tacos. It does not mean I'm rooting for that outcome. It just means I'm expecting that that's what we'll get. That's where I've got a square, Mike Flynn pardon, and my timing early Sunday afternoon. We'll see.